Good afternoon. A new initiative to bring 1 billion people into the information age appears to have had some success. Since its launch in January 2021, the EDISON Alliance, convened by the World Economic Forum, has had a big impact on the lives of 454 million people in 19 countries. It's activated over 250 initiatives in health, finance and education. Our business editor, Xolani Mbanjwa, is in Davos for you. Xolani, good afternoon to you. This kind of initiative could literally change the world. Tell us more about it.
Good afternoon, Stephen. Indeed, you are right. In today's world, digital inclusion is critical to giving opportunities to many people around the world, which is why the EDISON Alliance is a critical point in making sure that we bring inclusion to those who are unbanked, whether it's in the health space and many other sectors as well. But I'm not alone. I'm joined by the World Economic Forum's head of shaping the future of the digital economy, and that is Mr. Derek O'Halloran. Derek, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon.
It's a great pleasure. Thanks so much for having me.
The report that you released as the World Economic Forum speaks about having changed and improved the lives of 454 million people. Tell us how you've achieved that and in which regions around the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, maybe I'll just share a little around what the EDISON Alliance is, and that will help explain how we've delivered those results and impact. So in January of 2021, we had a number of organizations that really personally committed and were passionate about making universal digital inclusion a reality for everybody. We wanted to collaborate across different sectors, so having healthcare companies work together with education, together with governments, together with telecom and investors to take systemic approaches to be able to bring affordable services across those areas that you just mentioned. In September of 2021, we launched the 1 Billion Lives Challenge, and it works because we ask every organization who's a member to publicly make a concrete commitment to how many people they're going to deliver new services to by the end of 2025, and then we ask them to report on the progress of that on regular intervals as we go along. Not only do we ask them to make the commitment, we ask them to tell us the programs that are behind their plans, and then what are the kinds of partners that they need in order to be successful in those programs, and then we help facilitate those partnerships across the different areas.
So 2.7 billion people around the world do not have access to the internet.
Yes.
Something that many of us take for granted, and the world just hit 7 billion just a couple of months ago. It's something noteworthy that 2.7 billion people do not have access to that internet. You have set yourself a target of reaching 1 billion people by the year 2025.
Yes.
How important is this particular alliance in making sure that you live up to the commitment of the World Economic Forum that is committed to improving the state of the world?
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely critical. And you're right on those numbers, 2.7 billion, and that's not something that we can allow to continue. However, if you look pre-pandemic, that number was 3.7 billion. And so in just the last 2 years, we've had the biggest 2-year increase in internet adoption in decades. We have gone from just over half being connected to the internet to more than 2/3. Part of what we wanted to do with the EDISON Alliance is demonstrate that this is a solvable challenge. We have so many challenges around the world today, whether it's around climate, trying to get to 1.5%, the Sustainable Development Goals. It can feel overwhelming. What we wanted to do with the EDISON Alliance is show that real concrete impact and progress is possible if there is commitment, if there's leadership, and most importantly, if there's partnership between the different types of organizations that need to bring different pieces of the solution and work together with local communities so that we can deliver the services that actually change their lives and give them the opportunity to participate in today's world.
Of the 7 billion people around the world, 1.4 billion adults they're unbanked.
Right.
And really, the digital economy has allowed the world, from wherever you are, to have banking services on your phone in remote areas. What are the bottlenecks that actually cause some of these countries not to be able to have the infrastructure to have their citizens access banking services through their phones and through the internet?
So, to be honest, it's not so much a question of infrastructure. So, 95% of the people in the world live within access of broadband. The challenge is one of partnership and affordability. The biggest barrier right now is affordability of handsets and affordability of the services. That's whether it's the data or the banking services themselves. And what we're seeing is by building the partnerships between the telecom operators and the service providers, you can radically reduce the cost and you can geographically bring connectivity and services to new populations, new communities that never had that before. So through the partnership, focus on affordability. Any country can do this. The infrastructure's there. It just needs the will and learning from others.
Mr. Delek O'Halloran, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. You heard it from the World Economic Forum that 2.7 billion people around the world still don't have access to the internet services. 1.4 billion of those adults do not even have banking services on their cell phones. And this is part of the partnership here at the World Economic Forum that actually aims to make sure that there is digital inclusion around the world. Back to you, Stephen, in studio.
Xolani Mbanjwa, thank you very much indeed. He, of course, is live at the World Economic Forum in Davos.